ever go broke again.
From day one, that's when NBA started, from like me and him sitting on that porch, like really saying we wasn't trying to go broke no more.
The formation of his new NBA crew was announced with a bang when Youngboy dropped his earliest surviving music video, aptly titled NBA, on his own YouTube channel. That video saw Youngboy and 3-3 surrounded by their NBA muscle all around 38th Street with all types of firearms. And the song itself came with lyrics where Youngboy shouted out his shooter, NBA Pat, rapping that he sent Pat to go and hit people up, as well as shouting out another shooter as NBA Connor with the Mac 11, going on to describe his NBA shooters as being as proficient with firearms as Navy SEALs. He would also rap about the cops and his ops in the city.
Wait, so what do you say right here?
NBA Connor. Surviving music video. Formation of his new NBA crew was announced with a bang when Youngboy dropped his earliest surviving music video, aptly titled NBA, on his own YouTube channel. That video saw Youngboy and 3-3 surrounded by their NBA muscle all around 38th Street with all types of firearms. And the song itself came with lyrics where Youngboy shouted out his shooter, NBA Pat, rapping that he sent Pat to go and hit people up, as well as shouting out another shooter as NBA Connor with the Mac 11, going on to describe his NBA shooters as being as proficient with firearms as Navy SEALs. He would also rap about the cops and his ops in the city trying to hunt him down, and naming NBA outright as the gang that he represents. Youngboy's first ever mixtape, Life Before Fame, was launched under the TBG banner, the label Top Boy Gorillas, with their logo visible on the bottom left of the cover art. But by this
Damn, so yeah, man, he literally leaving trails, just trails everywhere, bro. Like, man, every fucking. At what point did they think that the white boy from motherfucking Paris or wherever Trap Lord Ross is from, like, this motherfucker's acting detective, bro? That's crazy to me.
September 1st, 2015, Youngboy was dubbed
Because he's really just compiling all of the shit and then making a story, like, you get what I'm saying? So I think this is the part of the doc where they get into, oh yeah, the rise. So this is the rise of NBA.
at it alone under his new NBA banner, with a fresh mixtape, Mind of a Menace, being released fully independently and presented under the banner of his own NBA crew. And it would appear that Youngboy and NBA were using this project as an opportunity to drop sneak disses and disrespect towards their former crew, TBG. On the project, he would drop several lines that were directed towards TBG, suggesting that they envied him and that he wasn't willing to work under somebody else's administration. Youngboy was beginning to build momentum independently of his former crew, and he'd keep his foot on the gas into 2016, following up his second mixtape with Speed. On April the 1st, 2016, only 4 months after Mind of a Menace dropped, Youngboy blessed his budding fan base with a sequel, Mind of a Menace 2. And on this project, he continued to drop shade on his former crew TBG. In the intro for this tape, he suggests that they didn't live up to their promises and says that he's ready to go to war with his former allies. Then in the song A Lot Miles, Youngboy explains that rather than switching on TBG like some say he did, he actually claims to have just gotten smarter and that he hasn't really changed at all, perhaps indicating that he felt he got smart to what was going on and realised that his career would benefit more as a free agent. Youngboy would seemingly indicate his team's readiness to go to war with their former crew. On the track Fact, rapping that he's riding around with Pac, OG3 and Guns, looking for their ops and aiming to make their guns go boom when they see them. Around this time, it seems clear that Youngboy formed his winning strategy of flooding the internet with music through frequent mixtape releases.
Hey, that's one thing about Youngboy too, is since he like touched down on the industry, or even in music, I mean even the outskirts of the industry, it's like he never stopped dropping music, bro. That's the craziest part.
3 months after Mind of a Menace 2, Youngboy would drop yet another mixtape, Before I Go, which was released on June the 27th, 2016. And on this project, Youngboy would begin to drop hints alluding to the ongoing beef with G Money, the star rapper of his former crew TBG, Top Boy Gorillas. Youngboy would also be shooting more threats to his former crew on the song Change, saying Youngboy, not TBG, and if someone plays, he's gonna get it. And another lyric on the song Change seemed to acknowledge a rumour that G Money had actually hooked up with Youngboy's sister, with Youngboy saying he won't speak on sleeping with my sister, something that perhaps wasn't public knowledge at the time of this song's release. But around a year later, G Money would openly admit and kind of brag about hooking up with Youngboy's sister in a Say She's interview.
He mad about his sister too, though.
About his sister?
Yeah, I had a long time ago. Okay.
The beef between Youngboy and G Money would be further complicated by Youngboy's cousin Boozilla. Boozilla repped BBG, or Bottom Boy Gorillas. They were the main rivals of TBG until Youngboy started his NBA crew. The story goes that G Money from TBG was beefing with Boozilla from BBG over some stolen drugs. Drugs which some believe Youngboy himself may have actually stolen, blaming Boozilla. This theory is based on lyrics G Money rapped on his song Industry, where he claimed that Youngboy's own cousin wanted to kill him. So, on July the 16th, 2016, Youngboy's cousin Boozilla drops the song Forgive Me, where he's dissing TBG and repping BBG. He wears a BBG t-shirt in the video, and he shouts out the Bottom Boys as his crew. He'd rap lyrics seeming to suggest that he was a shooter and that he wants to kill a rapper. But more specifically, there's another local rapper by the name of FL Doosa. Doosa is from the FL, or Forever Loyalty crew, who would later be closely affiliated with TBG, with Doosa himself later dropping numerous songs with Fredo Bang, Lit Yoshi, and other TBG artists. In Boozilla's song Forgive Me, he raps that Doosa is scared to walk through the South and that he's laying down the law in his area. Apparently the beef between Boozilla and Doosa was extremely personal and would eventually turn deadly. But before things would escalate to more violence, Youngboy would end up making a huge leap forward in his rap career. On September the 21st, 2016, Youngboy drops the video of his breakout track, 38 Baby. Named after the street he grew up on, Northside 38, this song was a window into his life, fresh out of the streets. The track painted a picture of his daily life, drinking lean, smoking with demons, and sending his hitters at people for any reason he can find, explaining how he's not able to go anywhere without being armed, and having to look out for old friends who turned on him over envy.
See, that's where you see Youngboy too going deep into his, like, I mean, if you really think about it, this kid is like a poet, and he's talking about his life in every rap. Like, I mean, he mentioned from down to the names to the people in his family, bro, to everything is like on point and precise to exactly what he going through. You get what I'm saying? And then it's like hundreds and hundreds of songs a year.
This song described a lot of pressure for a 16-year-old kid to be dealing with.
16, bro. Come on. Come on.
Who seemed to drop shade on G Money and TBG, denying their claims that they blew him up as a rapper and claiming that they just don't like the fact that he's now blowing up faster than them. The music video for 38 Baby saw...
Ooh, and that'd be a big thing too. In the crews where one person get to shine, and sometimes it'd be the person that not expected to get the shine, and they just surpass everybody in the crew. Sometimes it'd be the youngest one in the crew that have the hardest rhymes, and everybody overlooking the youngest one in the crew because he's young and he in the corner. You get what I'm saying? Or whatever. But yeah, and then what does that do? That just creates some kind of jealousy and shit, whatever, for the other. I mean, you know what I mean? Against in the crew, that's what it do.
Plenty of firearms, and
I'm gonna grab my bong.
By seeing somebody so young, surrounded by so much danger, and communicating the stark reality of their life so clearly over a catchy beat. Hell, footage would later even circulate showing that Youngboy actually recorded songs. Living a life truly beyond his years, and this spectacle would attract the attention of many, many more fans and music industry players. The song 38 Baby and its music video has garnered over 100 million views on YouTube to this day, and the song itself was followed by a full mixtape also titled 38 Baby, which dropped on October the 28th, 2016. This project would truly be the watershed moment of Youngboy's career professional, and he would finally get co-signs from respected rappers in the industry. As on the mixtape itself, Youngboy secured collaborations with fellow Louisiana Baton Rouge legends such as Kevin Gates and Boosie Badass, as well as a verse from his day one brother OG3. In fact, Kevin Gates, after appearing on the 38 Baby mixtape track Like Me, even got a portrait of Youngboy tattooed on his right leg just to show his admiration for the rising Louisiana legend.
Damn, that's wild. I mean, Kevin Gates is from Louisiana, but Two Phones got damn it, that's wild. That is, I mean, so that's saying that like Kevin Gates knew back then that it was. Let's look at it.
And Boosie would invite Youngboy to feature on his November 2016 track My Little Son, where Youngboy rapped menacingly about sliding on his ops with NBA Joe and 3-3. But back to the 38 Baby mixtape. As well as gaining Youngboy the respect of heavy hitters in the Baton Rouge rap scene, It also gained Youngboy an enormous amount of fame and success in the eyes of his fanbase. But bizarrely, in very Youngboy fashion, rather than reveling in the success of his latest release, just a week after the 38 debut project dropped, he came out with yet another mixtape, Mind of a Menace 3, releasing on November the 4th, 2016. This time, coming with yet another major...
That's crazy, and he's still like 16 or 17 years old. You feel me?
Co-signed a remix of his song Murder featuring Atlanta blood rapper 21 Savage, a remix which also dropped with a music video the very same day. Youngboy even later claimed that he became a member of 21 Savage's set of the Blood Gang, 4L, and they seemingly fostered a close relationship, something which would unfortunately deteriorate years later. But regardless, at this point Youngboy seemingly had fully muscled his way into the music industry, and it would be these major moves that would have Youngboy's name ringing not just in the streets, but also in the corner offices of record labels. At a certain point in 2016, he started working with super manager P. Banks, a Louisiana industry legend who had apparently helped Lil Wayne start Young Money and previously managed Kevin Gates. He would begin to advocate on behalf of Youngboy in the music industry, ultimately putting him in the position to field multi-million-dollar offers from major record labels. So at this point, Youngboy was seemingly set. He'd survived the dangerous streets of Northside 38, escaping the trenches with his...
That's crazy. It kind of seemed like it was quick.
life and escaping the clutches of his...
I mean, should be that young, but I mean, I guess we just getting into it. It's only an hour in and we still haven't got to the good shit, but I mean, he had to be 16 to 17 years old when all this shit is happening.
As a free agent, able to take his career wherever he wanted without hindrance. The problem is, sometimes you can rise to the top so fast that it hurts. Unfortunately for Youngboy, troubling legal issues seem to arrive just as quickly as the money and fame did. And unfortunately, due to the brewing troubles in the streets between his former crew and his extended family, Youngboy would end up being placed in a difficult position, ultimately catching a serious case that had the potential to put a complete stop to his promising career just as it was getting started. While Youngboy's star is beginning to rise, the deadly war on the streets of Baton Rouge is raging on. After departing from the crew TBG, Top Boy Gorilla, Youngboy and his Never Broke Again or NBA collective would become bitter rivals with the former crew. And this situation was only complicated further by the ongoing drama between TBG and their original rivals BBG, Bottom Boy Gorillas, a crew which Youngboy's cousin Boozilla was a prominent member of. Despite the two apparently having a falling out in 2015, it would seem that by 2016, Boozilla and Youngboy's NBA crew had made things right, as Boozilla would post on Twitter that he'd forgiven, as well as tweeting warning people not to play with BBG or NBA, suggesting that these two crews were in alliance against TBG and any of their affiliates. But things would all come to a head for these warring groups at the end of 2016. On July the 16th, 2016, Youngboy's cousin Boozilla drops the song Forgive Me, where he's dissing TBG and repping BBG, with lyrics in the song dissing another local rapper by the name of FL Dusa, saying Dusa is scared to walk through the South and that they're laying down the law in their area. It would seem that this lyric was taken as a personal challenge by his opposition, as just after midnight on November the 2nd, 2016, Youngboy's cousin, 18-year-old BBG Boozilla, real name Keandre Briggs, would be riding his bike near the 2000 block of Nebraska Street, less than a block from his family home. And it was here where he was targeted by gunmen who shot him multiple times in the upper torso and left him dead in the middle of the street. Boonzilla's mother would go on to do a distraught interview.
Damn, so they
news after reports of the brutal killing became public.
They had just he had just tweeted them out too. Didn't he say BBG and NBA like don't fuck with them?
You got a very good check. So wrong when people kill kids.
Kenya Taylor is still grieving more than a month after her son, 18-year-old Keandre Ricks, was shot and killed just steps away from his Nebraska Street home.
It's like I'm dreaming and I haven't woke up yet. Like I had a bad dream. I'm just waiting on the Lord to wake me up.
Taylor walked us over to where her son's body was found, a place she's visited often, trying to make sense of this senseless killing.
Then this way he must have fell in right here. Cause they had blood all right here.
Now, after this shooting, things get very complicated. It's widely believed that the murder of Boozilla was in connection with the ongoing feud that he had going with FL Dusa, with the majority of the comments on Boozilla's music video Forgive Me seeming to mock him, saying that he said Dusa is scared to walk through the South, and suggesting that this caused somebody to come through and take his life. Now, despite the differences they may have had in the past, naturally the murder of Boozilla would have devastating effects on his cousin Youngboy and other members of NBA and BBG. So, unsurprisingly, it didn't take long for those on Boozilla's side to attempt to get revenge for his murder. Boozilla was killed around midnight on Wednesday the 2nd November 2016, and retaliation would come around 9.5 hours later, when around 9:30 a.m. on the 2000 block of Kentucky Street, just a couple of blocks away from where the fatal shooting of Boozilla occurred, a vehicle containing Youngboy and 3 of his NBA affiliates pulls up and starts shooting. Unfortunately, this attempt at revenge ends up going wrong, and somebody from Youngboy's group ends up getting shot in the neck, allegedly NBA Joe.
Police find a man suffering from a gunshot wound to the neck, saying he was shot in a different neighborhood just a few streets away.
With rumors circulating, debating whether or not it was friendly fire from Youngboy or his side hitting Joe, or the targets of their gunfire returning fire and connecting. And years later, the police report for the incident would even suggest that Youngboy himself had been firing from the vehicle with an assault rifle. Regardless of exactly who was responsible, at this point the getaway car flees the scene, with the shooters and the injured man driving to the area of May and East Lakeshore Drive. Ultimately, this car would end up getting a flat tire and crashing at the LSU Lakes. Here, the shooters flee, leaving the injured man in his vehicle, where he's fortunately found by police and given medical attention. Naturally, it didn't take long for details of these outrageous back-to-back shootings to hit the news.
At this hour, there are a lot of questions remaining around 2 Baton Rouge shootings. One left a teenager dead, the other ended with the victim wounded at LSU Lakes.
Possibly 3 different scenes, and all 3 may be connected. That's what Baton Rouge police are trying to figure out. They've been interviewing witnesses, but so far,
so he.
Suspects. Just after midnight, Baton Rouge police.
But they don't know it's him though.
18-year-old Keandre Ricks was found dead, lying in the street, shot multiple times in the chest. Neighbors in the area tell us they saw a silver-colored Hyundai with 3 people inside driving around the area late night and into this morning. Then, shortly after 9:30 this morning, police get a call from a man shot once in the neck around the LSU Lakes. When they finally found him, he was in a silver-colored Hyundai. He was transported to the hospital and listed in stable condition as of now. Baton Rouge police have said the shooting did not start here at the lakes. Instead, they're looking to see if 3 different scenes are all connected. The first was at Nebraska, well, just 8 streets over, or 0.4 miles away. Around 9:30 this morning, police say a man was shot in the neck. He, or the suspect, then drove 1.4 miles to East Lakeshore in May, around. This is not a random shooting. They believe the shooter and victim actually did know each other.
Surprisingly, however, the violence was still not over, and the following day, on the 3rd of November 2016, at roughly 9:49 a.m., shooters would return to the street where Boozilla lived with his family and was killed, with officers nearby claiming to have heard 37 gunshots, apparently fired by 2 shooters.
God damn, empty the clip.
They would leave 2 homes on the
Did a
street,
bunch of
ready
clip.
for bullets. And at this point, the violence in Baton Rouge, held just in this street alone, was spiraling out of control. And at a certain point, the danger was so high that the authorities placed the local school on lockdown out of fear that further shootings would affect the children in the local community.
A number of schools in East Baton Rouge Parish are on lockdown for separate reasons. It's start with the 3 schools.
You know, and these are in the trenches, bro. These is like really in the trenches, these little towns and these small areas. Like, look in the background.
Now you can see.
Look in the back. You could just tell like it's in very rural area. Even some of the cities are in rural areas. So when they're moving around, that's crazy. That's like a bunch of, you know what I mean? That's just a bunch of like it's a lot going on because of the fact, or I mean that's they're stopping schools on lockdown because damn, I'm super lit from the California greenery. But yeah, it says 3 BR schools placed on lockdown for 2nd day. Oh, I was just saying, like, you know, like when they're emptying clips, like those bullets could go anywhere. So that's probably why they're placing it on lockdown, just to keep it safe. You don't want people back and forth, blah, 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 when they know something's popping, you feel me? So, yeah, we just watching the 5-hour doc, man. And that's what we're doing.
Investigation is centered around this white home here, right near the intersection of East Harrison and Nebraska. Nebraska Street. This is the latest in a rash of recent shootings in this area over the past few days, including one that left an 18-year-old dead. The teen was found shot.
Yo, Hip Hop Heist, if you watching right now, let me go like and subscribe, man. Go get that, and we're gonna keep it moving.
That Wednesday in the 2000 block of Nebraska Street. That incident happened around midnight. Then yesterday morning around 9:30, a man was shot in the neck on Kentucky Street, which is just a couple of blocks from the spot where that fatal shooting occurred. The victim left the area in a car and then parked around the LSU lakes to call for help. These recent violent incidents near Nebraska have left some residents feeling uneasy.
At this point, even people living on this street were being interviewed by the news, telling them that it's like living in hell.
I live on this street, and this about the worst street to live on. You say living in hell? This is hell right here.
She ain't having it.
Don't have no respect for old Elizabeth.
At some point, the shooting would stop, the smoke would clear, and local investigators would finally be able to...
Yeah, she wasn't having it, man. Man, we're gonna have to pick it up tomorrow. It's already time. So yeah, part 2 is tomorrow. And yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. Hip Hop Heist, man. Youngboy, real killer or fake gangster? Created by Trap Lord Ross. And then yeah, we're gonna pick it up back up tomorrow. And that's what it is, man. Hip Hop Heist. Make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, we're gonna keep with the articles because we talking about the news, not the olds. And you already know how it goes. So get out of here before you get froze. Like some nice crown jewels. Alright, that's it. I'm out. Hip Hop Heist, man. Be happy. Yo, peace. I'm gonna fix all this up so we can have a nice little area. But yeah, Hip Hop Heist, man. We out. Peace.